My speech will be about why college athletes should be paid. All right. So we've all dreamt of one day being famous. We also know that with fame comes being rich, right? Well, what if I told you there were famous people around the country bringing in revenue and fame for their program, but receiving no money? Crazy, right? Today I will be explaining to you why college athletes deserve to be paid. Each year, athletes bring in millions of dollars for their school. Whether they are freak athletes like Saquon Barkley, social media stars like Caden Woodall, or complete nobodies on the field like the kicker on a football team, people pay and show up to watch them play. According to the NCAA, um, basketball brings in $12,389,000,000 from tickets, revenue, and student fees together. There are around 18,816 NCAA basketball participants. Now, I know there are many things to pay for in the basketball industry, like bills, equipment, and salaries, but with these two numbers alone, and each NCAA player could make over $6.5 million. There is way more than enough money floating around the NCAA to not be paying these kids. Another reason athletes should be paid is time. Playing a sport takes up just as much time as working a full time job. Business Insider says collegiate athletes may spend more than 40 hours a week practicing, including games and training sessions. That itself is like having a job. Plus, you still have to go to school and have real world responsibilities. A college athlete must make his or her sport their first priority. This takes time away from studying and being a successful student in the classroom. For all the time and hard work they put into their program, students deserve to be paid for their efforts. The next reason I have is the competition. If you told athletes there would be a money prize in the end, they would be motivated to work harder and raise their level of performance. Doing so would increase their chances to go pro, relieve stress about their financial situation, and bring better entertainment for spectators. It is much more fun to watch two teams go neck and neck than to watch one team completely dominate the division every year. Another reason to pay college athletes is their coaches' salaries. Sure, without a good head coach, a team would be quite unsuccessful. But these head coaches share the field with assistant coaches and players. Some head coaches make millions a year, while teachers aren't making anywhere near that amount. What happened to student first, athlete second? The next reason for why college athletes should be paid is putting their school on the map. There have been many lower D1 schools who rose to fame because of their players. One of those schools is Davidson, and this player was Stephen Curry. Davidson was a smaller Division I school that barely anyone ever heard of, if not in the same state. Steph Curry came out of high school as an average player, so in the beginning of his college career, he wasn't a nationwide superstar. As he started showing out in games, more people began paying attention. In the end of his college career, he was one of the best shooters to ever go through college basketball and was drafted to the NBA. Now, being one of the best shooters of all time, the best in my opinion, he has given Davidson a name and has brought fame to the school. Many people want to play basketball there just to follow in Steph's footsteps. But Steph wasn't paid for this. He gave Davidson what they needed and carried their school into fame, but received nothing in return. Finally, collegiate athletes should be paid because a salary would help a student invest in their future. Leaving school with a degree and significant savings would help them begin their adult life and make it a lot easier to be independent. Not all students get drafted out of college and are guaranteed millions of dollars each year. This puts them in a tough position, and if they don't end up playing professionally, all their efforts through high school and college leave them with nothing. College athletes do so much for their program and their schools. It almost seems just cruel and wrong not to pay them back for all they have done. And that's done.